in front of our eyes. Get up, do something. MHC on the rise. Think positive. Oh, we gotta stay positive. Yeah, yeah. We can learn to love each other. Like my sister and my brother. MHC on the rise.
Good evening, Martinsville and Henry County. Welcome to MHC on the Rise, where it's our goal to create positive conversation and find solutions to the issues that impact Martinsville and Henry County. And we're going to talk tonight about an issue that has a major impact not only on Martinsville and Henry County, but it seems to be growing across the country, across the world, and we're going to discuss that. And I have with me Miss Valerie Blevins of Piedmont Community Services, and she's a prevention specialist. And our focus initially is going to be on Recovery Month. And just want to kind of first of all start out and just, what is Recovery Month?
Recovery Month is the month of September, and it's a national movement, and it is to help people celebrate their time in recovery from mental illness and substance abuse. It's been around 26 years. This area, we started celebrating it probably about 5 or 6 years ago, and we try to have some kind of event scheduled in September to recognize it. Okay,
and what exactly do you do, or how do you celebrate, honor, recognize, National Recovery Month?
Yeah, and there's many different ways, and in the past we've had a picnic at the city park. We had a 5K at the sports complex. We helped sponsor the Color Run, the Paint the Town 2 years ago with a community recovery program that's out of Piedmont Community Services. And this year we're having a Rockin' Recovery, which there is a band that's going to be playing. Mm-hmm. We will supply the food, and it's just a day that the family and everyone can come out and celebrate people in recovery, but everyone is welcome.
And why is it important to celebrate people who are in recovery or have recovered from substance abuse or a mental disorder?
A lot of times, and I know still today, there's stigma, negative stigma attached to people that have mental illness and or substance use disorders or substance abuse problems. And it's to get their voice recognized. If people do want to stay anonymous, they can, because there is stigma still attached to it. Or if they want to celebrate and have people honor their time in recovery, ask them questions, and just a celebration that people can recover, and they do recover. Not everyone that gets into recovery stays in recovery, and sometimes that gives it a negative look to it, that people say, well, they went and got treatment and they started using drugs or alcohol again. But that can happen with any kind of illness. Absolutely.
And we normally hear the negative. We hear about the people who went to rehab or, got off of drugs or whatever the case is, or we hear about the mental disorders and people, committing acts of violence. But this is an opportunity for those who are successful to share their story. And I guess if we can kind of, I hate to use the word infiltrate, but put the positive out there to give people hope. Is that kind of the goal of this month?
And a lot of times, like I said, the stigma attached, people don't want to talk about their recovery. We have lots of professional people in our community that are recovering from mental illness and or substance abuse. But they don't want their voice attached to that. They may do things anonymously, but some people don't want their clients or people in the neighborhood to know that they are in recovery. But that's starting to change, and we want to help continue to make that change and take away that negative stigma.
And how can we continue to take away that negative stigma?
For people to speak up if they are in recovery, for people in recovery to educate other people, and that's something that we want to do with the National Recovery Month. We also hold mental health first aid classes that we do in the community that are free to help the average person know how to deal with someone that does have mental illness, and we touch on substance abuse also.
And how do you, as someone who, you know, has a professional career, or, you know, you have a career, you work and you have a job, how do you let people know that, you know, you once abused substances, or you had or have a mental disorder, but you know, you're managing that? How do you have that conversation? Why do you have that conversation?
And usually people have that conversation to help someone else, or to educate someone that may not understand mental illness or substance abuse. I've shared on this program and with a lot of people that I am in recovery from substance abuse. And I just don't tell everyone, because still I'm afraid of that stigma. And some people say, well, you know, if this happens, maybe she'll go back to drinking and drugging, and not trust that people can get clean and sober and stay in recovery.
And I'm going to, you know, you brought it up, I'm going to ask a question. Like, being that, you know, you have friends and family, you know, who know about your abuse in the past, when something negative happens, do they tend to get like nervous and like checking on you more and making sure that you're okay? Or if you have a look like maybe a little bit down and out, does that intimidate them or put fear in them?
Some, because I've had relapses in my recovery, meaning I've gone back to using after I had some time clean. Recently, since I'm considered long-term sobriety, my family and friends don't get that nervous anymore, because they see that I have been handling life on life's terms, and I haven't chose to turn back to drugs or alcohol.
And I guess if you have truly recovered, then you really don't mind, you know, in some instances, mind talking about where you went, where you were, because you've truly recovered.
Right.
But sometimes I guess people don't want to talk about where they were because they either haven't truly recovered or they still have those tempting thoughts. Is that?
That could be
Okay.
part of the reason.
Okay.
Even working with people with mental illness and substance use, even in our own field, people have these thoughts that the stigma still exists. And that's something that I'm passionate about, trying to get rid of this stigma, because when you said about violence, people with mental illness and substance abuse are no more violent than the average person. There's statistics about that. Now, when they're under the influence of drugs or alcohol, they may do more criminal acts, but if they're not under the influence, and if they are sober or in recovery, then they're usually following the laws, and they can be very productive members of society.
Okay. And how does a average citizen, you know, like myself, you know, not substance abuse, you know, not diagnosed with a mental illness other than by my wife, how does the average citizen take part in Rockin' Recovery or National Recovery Month?
To come out to our events, and if they have any questions, to ask people. At this event, and we did it one other time, we added up the time of sobriety that everyone that showed up had, and it was amazing the years that we had combined from people in the audience. And you can make connections or network with people if you have questions. I know with doing the mental health first aid, a lot of times after the class, people will stay after and come up and talk to me because they said, I didn't take the class just for my job, but there's someone in my life that's affected by this.
And can, you know, normally, you know, if you work with somebody or if you go to church with somebody, normally, you know, information about that person seeps out. So you have some idea that maybe this person's had a traumatic period of their life. Should that average citizen create conversation with that individual to discuss, you know, their past abuse or possible mental disorder?
Sure. And that can start the conversation. And I like to say, you can say what you've noticed, if there's been some changes in their behavior, or you seem really down lately. Is there anything you want to talk about? You could be that person, that first person, and then open up the conversation and make suggestions. Maybe they go talk to a professional. And it doesn't have to always be a counselor. It could be a clergy member. It could be a good friend.
Mm-hmm. And your theme is join the voices. Well, the theme for Recovery Month 2015 is join the voices for recovery, visible, vocal, and valuable. Talk about that theme.
That we need to be visible out in the community. And like I said, I share that I am recovering with most people, do know that about me. And the vocal is talking about the issue and getting information out to people. And when people say, well, I just don't understand addiction, I try to educate them that I am a little bit different than a non-addicted person. Mm-hmm. My thoughts around alcohol and other drugs are not the same as someone who doesn't abuse these chemicals, and just try to give them my perspective and what I've gone through and what I have to go through on a daily basis to stay clean. Okay.
And, you know, you're talking about two different concerns here. One, substance abuse. I mean, that's pretty self-explainable, you know, but then you're talking about mental disorder. Who should go in to, you know, seek professional help to determine if they have a mental disorder?
Anybody that is feeling sad and it goes on for a few weeks. Anybody that is feeling very anxious and it goes on for a few weeks and it starts to disrupt their daily living. Maybe they're not getting out of bed. Maybe they're not taking care of themselves hygienically. Maybe they've given up activities that they used to do, and that would be a concern if it goes on for a few weeks. And you can always get an evaluation, and you may find out that, yes, something is going on, or it could possibly be a mental illness or substance abuse, or they may just give you some suggestions of what could help get you through that period, and it may just be a rough time in your life.
So there's no harm in seeking professional guidance?
No.
Is it any different in going to get, you know, checked for a mental disorder than it is if you have a pain in your body and you go in to check to see if everything's okay? Is there any difference in the two?
Really no difference. I think it's what we think about, and I think society thinks that if it's mental illness, then it's taboo and we don't want to talk about it, and it's our brain, and that's an organ of the body, just like heart disease would be a disease of the heart. So we need to stop separating the brain from other body organs, and it is an illness, and you can be treated just like you can be treated for diabetes or heart disease, and you will still have it, but it can be treated. Just like if you're diabetic, you usually continue to be diabetic, but you can maintain and function very well if you follow recommendations. Same with mental illness and substance abuse.
Okay. We're going to come back, and I do have a couple of cliches when we come back. I want to kind of throw those out, you know, get your thoughts on them. We're going to put some stats up. We're going to talk more about, you know, the rock and recovery, and then we're going to bring it home, and we're going to talk about Martinsville and Henry County and, you know, substance abuse and, you know, mental disorders. Martinsville, Henry County, we'll be back in a couple minutes.
The solution is right in front of our eyes. Get up, do something. MHC on the rise. Think positive. Oh, we gotta stay positive. Yeah, yeah. We can learn to love each other. Like my sister and my brother. Mhc on the rise.
Hello, I'm David Cunningham with Cunningham Tire, and I'm here to tell you about some great summer savings on BF Goodrich Tire. For a limited time, come in and you can get a $50, $70 MasterCard rebate on any set of BF Goodrich tires. Rain or shine, we all get a kick out of riding, especially when you've got the right tires on your car. So come in today and get a great deal on a set of BF Goodrich TA radios. Come on down to where the rubber meets the road. Cunningham Tire.
I've been here since I was 15. It's like home for me. Ridgeway, it's not only beautiful, it's a tight-knit community. At Woody's, we cut our meat fresh every day, hand cut. It's no preservatives. It's fresh to you right off the truck. We offer the fresh produce delivered to us twice a week from the beautiful Blue Ridge Parkway. Here at Woody's, we offer a great bargain price on Nice's sausage, and we make our own sausage daily. Come see us at Woody's, where everybody's family.
You're watching BTW 21, your neighborhood network, the pride of Martinsville.
Hello, I'm Creed Taylor with Taylor's Tax and Financial Center. We're here to professionally serve you. We are proven, prompt, professional, and confidential. We provide accounting services, expert income tax preparation, retirement, and financial services. Come see us at Taylor's Tax and Financial Center, 15 Henry Street, Martinsville, Virginia. We're here to professionally serve you.
Hey, I'm Stacy Hamilton over at Hugo's, 10 East Church Street, Uptown Martinsville, Jefferson Plaza. We have our new 2 for $20 special running this week again, and we're just here to let you know what we have. These are some of the dishes that I can do for you. Come in and try some of these new dishes. We also have a Friday night special and a weekend special actually with prime rib, filet mignon, seafood platter. Hugo's located at 10 East Church Street, up in Martinsville, Jefferson Plaza. Stop by or give us a call at 632-FOOD.
Jim Mills Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is proud to announce the new arrivals for 2015. Jeep lovers will be impressed with the new Jeep Renegade look and style. The all-new Dodge Challenger and Dodge Charger are redesigned with sleek lines and luxury. The new Ram Rebel offers an off-road experience. It's an exciting year to buy at Jim Mills Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Visit us across from the Martinsville Speedway or visit us online at jimmillscdjr.com.
The solution is right in front of our eyes. Get up, do something. MHC on the rise. Think positive. Oh, we gotta stay positive. Yeah. We can learn to love each other. Like my sister and my brother. MHC on the rise.
Welcome back, Martinsville and Henry County. I'm here tonight with Miss Valerie Blevins, and we're talking about Rock and Recovery, celebrating National Recovery Month. And, you know, there's an event that's coming up, and I'd like for you to share with our audience all of the details so that if they want to participate, they definitely can.
Okay. It will be this Saturday, September 26th, in the back parking lot of Piedmont Community Services on Clay Street. It is 11 to 2 p.m. We will have a band, we will have food, we will have some testimonies of people, and it may be anonymous, they're written testimonies. We will collect the amount of recovery time that people in the audience have and add that up and share how much recovery time we have there that day. We will have t-shirts that will be thrown out into the audience. We will have cake and snowballs for the kids, and we do ask if you come to bring a lawn chair because we will not have seating available, but it is just a fun, free event for the whole community from 11 to 2 in the back parking lot of Piedmont Community Services, and we're sponsoring it through Piedmont Community Services and the Community Recovery Program. Also, we have JV Chill, and that is our middle school chill group. They will be volunteering and helping us with the event, and we may have some raffles to, some items to raffle off also. So we would just like everybody to come out. If you have any questions about recovery, just come on out and ask us. It's just a big event, and like I said, everybody's welcome.
And you say everybody is welcome. But who should attend?
Who should attend?
Who should attend?
People in recovery, and I don't care if you only have 3 hours in recovery from mental illness or substance abuse. Family members, anybody in the community. We would like all the employees of Piedmont Community Services to come out because they play a big role in the recovery of people. And we've invited consumers from different programs. So that would be who we would like to be there, but everyone is welcome.
Awesome, awesome. have two cliches, and I want you to respond to them. He is an addict, and he will always be an addict.
And that's true in some form. If someone does have the disease of addiction, they will always have the disease of addiction, but they won't always have to be in an active addiction. If they stop using and change their life, then they are in recovery, and they can stay in recovery.
And it's important for people who have been an addict to understand that they still have that gene or that possibility to go back to that addiction, so that they know to stay away from the behavior, stay away from the people, the possible activities. So it's kind of important to keep that in the forefront of your mind, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And we have a saying in recovery: old people, places, and things. I don't need to hang out with the people I used with. I don't need to hang out at the places that I used, and I don't need to be around or have the things that help me use around me.
She has issues. There's no help for her.
Okay, and issues, a lot of times we are talking about mental illness, and there is help for people. And I think a lot of times we focus on the people that we do know that don't stay in recovery, and there is a new movement that you can recover from mental illness. It used to be specifically with substance abuse. If you didn't use and you changed your life, you were considered in recovery. But mental illness, you can be in recovery if you're functioning on a better level and taking care of yourself. That could be recovery for mental illness. Doesn't mean that you may not have to, you may still have to take medication, you may still need therapy or services, but you can still be in recovery, and you don't always have to stay stuck in an active addiction or with a mental illness and not getting any better.
Okay.
So there is hope.
Well, good, and that's, good to know, and it, it's hopeful for people who, because it's not always the people, not just the people who are going through the substance abuse or the mental disorder, but it's the people in their circle, because I know that it has to be tough, and I can say I know it is tough because I've had, mental disorder in my family. I've had substance abuse, still have it in my family, and it's tough to watch people that you idolized or people that, you watch grow up and just gradually, that they begin to decline because of the abuse or the disorders, And I do want to put some stats up, Doug. These are some national stats. But I'm going to also bring this, back personally. I'm going to use myself, somebody who's active and involved. How do I, not John Rockford up the street, but somebody that's in my family that has a mental disorder or substance abuse problem, how do I help them? And as we're talking, the stats will pop up, but, that's national stats. But let's talk about how do I help somebody in my family or a friend of mine?
To open up the conversation and talk. And a lot of people, if it's happening and it's someone real close to you, a lot of times we go into denial and we don't want to face that person is having a problem. But you can let them know what you're seeing that they're doing that you think is causing, or what kind of problems they're having. You can look at it as an illness like anybody else, or any other illness. If someone's not breathing well, you're probably going to confront that. And the same with mental illness or possible mental illness or substance abuse, and just be honest with them. Most of the time, the person does not want to hear it because they may be in denial also. But if you plant the seed and let them know that you care about them, that you think something is going on, and let them know that there is hope and there is treatment for them. And then maybe say, if you want to go and talk to somebody, I'll go with you, or would you want me to go with you as support?
And how do you, I don't have a problem, or, man, hey, leave me alone, I'm good, I got control of this. How do you keep that conversation going? How do you convince that person or get that person to finally just say, hey, you know what, I do have a problem and I need help?
And a lot of times we say they have to hit their bottom. And people's bottoms are different for each individual. but planting the seed and letting them know that you're there if and when they want to talk, or offer for them to talk to someone else outside of the family, because it's really hard when it hits your family. It's hit my family, and I can work as a counselor and seem to help other people, but I can't seem to help my own family. So that's when I need to refer them to someone else. My saying is, if they're still breathing, there's hope. And I know many people who have relapsed or tried to get clean and sober, and over, they keep relapsing and going back to it. But after maybe 27 years, I've seen people stop using and put their lives together and change and become different people.
In 30 seconds, what are the don'ts for someone, let's do substance abuse. For someone who has a substance abuse, what are the don'ts for the people who are trying to help them?
I would say don't be yelling at them. I wouldn't be talking to them about any concerns when they're under the influence, because that does no good. I would wait till if you can get them a time when they're sober to talk to them. I wouldn't force them. You can give them options. You may have to close down some avenues for them and say, this is what I need, and if you can't do this, this, and this, then maybe they can't live there anymore, or maybe you decide that you're not going to live there anymore, and just be honest with them of what you can and can't live with and follow through with that.
And I wish we could have had a little more time to talk about, some of those stats, that we were going to pop up, but maybe we'll get you back on and have that conversation. But Martinsville, Henry County, let's take these two concerns very seriously: substance abuse and mental disorders, and they do impact our community. They impact my family, they impact your family, they impact our communities. Let's get out, let's support this, and let's support those individuals who are going through these situations, and let's see if we can make a difference and continue to keep MHC on the rise. Have a great week.
The solution is right in front of our eyes. Get up, do something, MHC on the rise. Think positive. Oh, we gotta stay positive. Yeah. We can learn to love each other. Like my sister and my brother. MHC on the rise.
Hello, I'm David Cunningham from Cunningham Tire, and I'm here to tell you about some great summer savings on BF Goodrich Tires. For a limited time, come in and you can get a $50, $70 MasterCard rebate on any set of BF Goodrich tires. Rain or shine, we all get a kick out of driving, especially when you've got the right tires on your car. So come in today and get a great deal on a set of BF Goodrich TA radials. Come on down to where the rubber meets the road, Cunningham Tire.
I've been here since I was 15. It's like home to me. Ridgeway, it's not only beautiful, it's a tight-knit community. At Woody's, we cut our meat fresh every day, hand-cut. It's no preservatives. It's fresh to you right off the truck. We offer the fresh produce delivered to us twice a week from the beautiful Blue Ridge Parkway. Here at Woody's, we offer a great bargain price on Mhc sausage, and we make our own sausage daily. Come see us at Woody's. We're everybody's family.
You're watching BTW 21, your neighborhood network, the pride of Martinsville.
Hello, I'm Creed Taylor with Taylor's Tax and Financial Center. We're here to professionally serve you. We are proven, prompt, professional, and confidential. We provide accounting services, expert income tax preparation, retirement, and financial services. Come see us at Taylor's Tax and Financial Center, 15 Henry Street, Martinsville, Virginia. We're here to professionally serve you.
Hey, I'm Stacy Hamilton over at Hugo's, 10 East Church Street, Uptown Martinsville, Jefferson Plaza. We have our new 2 for $20 special running this week again, and we're just here to let you know what we have. These are some of the dishes that I can do for you. Come in and try some of these new dishes. We also have a Friday night special and a weekend special actually with prime rib, filet mignon, seafood platter. Hugo's loaded at 10 East Church Street, up in Martinsville, Jefferson Plaza. Stop by or give us a call at 632-FOOD.